Hi, my beautiful people. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope everyone is okay. And welcome. First of all, welcome. Welcome to this live of the Coaches Next Door. So, I would like to start by telling you that the Coaches Next Door started, I think, um, 4 years ago, no more, sorry, maybe 5 years ago, the podcast started. And we start the podcast in a very organic way and in a very flow way. Let me put it like this, because I don't know if you know, but probably not. I did radio for many years, and I had many years of a weekly program in that radio station. And I must say that I missed it. So I had one moment that I miss it. I miss this speaking to people. This you know. Connecting with people as well in this way, right? So we started the podcast, and me and Peter, my husband, and we started that podcast, and was so I really felt home. I really felt at home, and so we started, and was episodes, different ones. You can reach it out in Spotify and YouTube as well. And we have a very different type of episodes. We have more personal episodes. We have also more coaching and mentoring episodes, but we also have a little bit of the business side of the thing, because that is the spectrum that we work in. So the podcast for me is really a way not only to share with more people, right? Because we reach more people in different parts of the world. But it's also an opportunity to do something that we really love. That is like bringing a different perspective to things that, are the normal things, and sometimes even routines and things that we think about, but we don't have the possibility of having a new perspective. So my intention when I do this podcast, and I'm still having some episodes that I recorded, but my intention with this podcast is really, really to bring a new perspective. For that, I'm totally open to receive your questions, to receive your doubts, and I will reply. I can do it in an anonymous way if you prefer. Today, I said, oh, okay, what will be a nice topic for today? And I think we can start from the beginning, right? I think because the title of the podcast is The Coaches Next Door, and I think, okay, but maybe not everyone really knows, or at least has a really profound awareness what is coaching. And I think, to be honest, that is a lot of confusion. And as you know, I also do coaching certifications, and I meet a lot of different coaches that also did that training in other schools. And I sometimes like, are you really sure that you know what coaching is? So I bring to this first episode the beginning of the beginning. What is the difference between coaching, mentoring, and therapy? Because I think these three things are, let's say, the ones that people tend to mix a little bit more, okay? And I'm going to bring you, let's say, four different places that you can really see this difference. And it's like in the purpose. What is the purpose of each one of them? Coaching, mentoring, and therapy. What is the time frame for each one of them? What is the focus? What we are focused on when we are doing each one of them? And what is the type of relationship that we are creating when we are inside of one of them? So when we are doing, or being a coach or being a coachee, what is the type of relationship that we are in, and what is the dynamic? And in each one of this, and of course we could go for many and different differences, okay? But I focus on these ones because I think they are very explicit and very clear to understand first what you are entering, what could be the thing that resonates better with you in both sides of the spectrum. If you are a coach, a therapist, or a mentor, and if you are someone looking for coaching, therapy, or mentoring. So it's important for us to understand that in each one of these spectrums, if I'm looking for or if I'm delivering it, it's important for me to know, okay, what is my purpose? What is the time frame that I'm offering? What is the focus and what is the type of relationship that I'm entering? Yes, I hope this serves you. To me, feels like very relevant because I think is the possibility of us to choose with information. Yeah. So I want to start with the purpose. So, what is the purpose of coaching? The purpose of coaching is to really solve a problem. That is the focus. So the coaching is very goal oriented in that sense. It's like, okay, what is going on? What is the transformation or the change that you want to bring to your life in any spectrum of your life? And we are going to work upon that. So it's a very focus in the goal, and is focused in one result that you want to achieve. What is the purpose of mentoring? The purpose of mentoring is being a model of. So the purpose is to really share. Not so much is not can be that is something specific that you want to know about, but the mentoring has the purpose of sharing. So it's much more a sharing thing than someone knowing more than the other. And therapy, what is the purpose of therapy? Therapy comes along to really go deep and understand why things are happening. So it's much more focused on the root of what is happening. And of course, that is also going to bring a big difference in the time frame, like you can imagine. So you already probably can feel that, yes, coaching will be short time frame because it's in the moment that we have the goal, we stop. You can already feel that the mentoring is a long-term thing because we are looking for someone that is the model for something that we want. So we are looking for someone that can exchange with us their own experience, right? So the time frame can be really a long time frame. And for the therapy, can be both, can be long term and short term. The biggest tendency is that therapy goes for the long term because it's more like reaching out on several and different points of the person. So the tendency is that therapy tends to be longer than, for instance, coaching. Yeah. So in these two things, like purpose and time frame, you can already imagine that this brings also big differences about the process that each one of this person is going to follow. What is also the requirement for the tools that this person is following if they are delivering this to you. So one of the things that is very important is to check if you are on the same purpose when you are looking for a coach or you're looking for a mentor or a therapist. If you have the same idea of what is the purpose of this relationship, right? And be aware that it's very important also to agree on the time frame. So how long this is going to take, for you, if you are delivering, but also if you are receiving, how long can I expect this process to last? How long can I even sometimes can dedicate? Sometimes the choice is about the urgency of what is coming. Sometimes I see people, for instance, saying to me, "Oh, Ligia, I would like to have coaching with you." And I like, okay, what is the purpose and what do you want to achieve? And I say, yeah, but that is not a coaching process. Because, for instance, if someone wants to reach out the purpose of life or wants to find a little bit more about themselves, that is not a pure coaching. Probably is not going to be like, you cannot say, oh, okay, in this time we are going to reach that. Of course we have some tools that can help, but I prefer, for instance, to say, I think that is an investigation moment. So it's nice that we can, explore a little bit more than, having that goal that you want to know. Well, we don't even know what you want to know about yourself. So I will say that, for instance, if someone comes with this in mind, I like, okay, let's see if it's not a combination of coaching and mentoring, for instance. Because I don't think that you finding things about yourself or finding what really matters for you, what is a pure coaching process, if you know what I mean. I hope this is making sense, and I hope this is helping you to really realize, okay, how can I choose, to the best process for myself, but also for you to choose, if you are in that moment, what is the process that you want to be delivering. And I think this is so important because I already found a lot of, not a lot, but some people that said, "Oh, I want to do a coaching certification," for instance. And then I go like, but what you will be like, what do you want to be doing with people? What is your intention, your own purpose? And then you realize that this person is much more looking for a process of sharing, a process of mentoring, than a process of coaching. And this is so beautiful because we will avoid that someone is doing mentoring and calling it coaching. Huh? But also the opposite, that, for instance, clients are expecting coaching and they are getting mentoring. So this clarification is so important. But also to decide, for instance, what is the studies that you want to take, and what is the requirements for each one of these modalities. So a lot of things come from that decision, the decision about, okay, what do I want to deliver? What is my purpose when I'm doing this? So I want to stop. So we already covered the difference on the purpose for mentoring, coaching, and therapy. They have different purposes, but they also have different time frames. That is two things that we already covered. I hope everyone is hearing well. If not, let me know. I hope that everyone is being able to follow this. Please let me know. If not, I'm just checking if some messages are entering. Let me check if I have some messages entering here. And yeah, not messages yet, but you can of course do it in the chat, and you can put it, and I will see how can I reply to them. Yeah, okay. Because the intention of this is also to share. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to share, please share it and connect with me. I will love that. So I want to jump to the focus. Okay, what is the focus when, and what do we have different focuses on coaching, mentoring, and therapy? Are we paying attention to different things? Yes, we are. So normally I say, coaching, you tell the story and you tell what you want. And the coach has the tools to get you to a different result. Mentoring, the mentor tells the story and you collect the things that are more relevant for you. In therapy, you tell the story. So it's basically that. So this is the focus, okay? So in coaching, we are focusing on what is the things that you want. And we are focusing on bringing up your best results to achieve that. Yeah. So we are focusing on you and on your future self. In mentoring, from the other side, we are focusing on the mentor, that the mentor, I want to remind you, that is someone that has the result that you want. So that means that that person already did it, right? So that person is sharing with you the past, so she's sharing with you the story that they went through for you to collect the points that will make sense for you and to help you to achieve what you are looking for. So it's almost like a role model. It's not almost, it is. A mentor is a role model, someone that already is already in the place that you are aiming for. Yeah. And the therapy, the focus is on you. The focus is on your story. And how do you tell that story and how that story impacted you? And of course, the therapist also has some tools to explore a little bit the story and to bring you maybe to different events on the story that maybe before you never paid attention to. But the focus on the therapy is in your story. How are you seeing what happened? Yeah, and what if that vision of what happened is helping you or not? Yeah, I hope this is clear because I find this so important. Because sometimes happens, right? I had already in the past situations, for instance, that the coachee, the person that wanted coaching with me, in a certain moment said, okay, but did it ever in your life this happened also to you? So in a way, they are asking for, can you be my mentor right now? Right? They want someone to share with them, hey, this happened to you and what did you do? And of course, as a coach, we cannot do that. And sometimes it's like, oh my God, yeah, I cannot do that. So I said, not my no, or I normally don't lie. So I say, but that is not relevant right now. It's not that, it's not what we are looking for, right? So the thing is that it's so normal that in some moments the person gets, okay, I got you, I know, but can I look for someone that already went through this and can I learn from that person? So this is beautiful because it's incredible how, for instance, these three things can really work well together. And I will say more things can work really well together. Okay, and sometimes we see this like each one wanting to be the most relevant one, and I think is not the way to go. I think we can all collaborate, and I think we can really find moments that the person maybe needs a different thing, but also with doctors. And I had a beautiful work in the past with a nutritionist. So I think when we are wanting really to support people, is so beautiful when we can cover all the points that the person has, right? We are not only mental, we are not only emotional, we are not only the stories that we tell. We have a physical body, we have, and a lot happens there, right? So sometimes we want to achieve the transformation in a person using only one side of that person. I tend to say that is a very, let's say, basic work. So it's a huge possibility of, and a long term, the result is not there. So I totally prefer very combined work, and that's when I really advise people sometimes to say, hey, I think now is time for you to, I don't know, go to a mentor, or go to a physiotherapist, or go to, to do some, ask your doctor to do some blood tests, because that is not my field, and I think it's worth it to get, more perspectives. And this is one of the things that I find really interesting, is that we are the ones that need to make space for new perspectives. So if the person cannot achieve that for themselves or alone, we are the ones that need to say, oh, I think it's useful for us to expand perspectives. And that is also letting people meet other professionals, people with other tools, people with other focus, people with other purpose. So that's why I don't see any, fight between the several practices. I think they are different and they serve different purposes, so they can also come in different moments of our lives. And when we combine all of them, most probably we will be reaching also very different results. So I want now to step in. So we talked about the difference on the purpose, the difference on the time frame, the difference on the focus, and now I want to reach out the difference on the relationship. The type of relationship that is created in coaching, mentoring, and therapy is very different. And I think this is so nice for us also to understand that the relationship, that the dynamic of the relationship will be so different. And realizing what is the relationship that I want to be in as a coach or a coachee, as a mentor or a mentee, or a therapist and a client of the therapist. So one of the things is that the relationship, for instance, in the coaching, is a relationship of, how do you say, support. So the coach is there to support your own desires and results, right? The relationship in a mentoring process is a relationship that, like I said in the beginning, is sharing. So we are equals. But of course, one person has more experience in a field, but the other person can have experience in another field. Okay, so it's a more equal relationship. The dynamic is the dynamic of sharing. In the therapy, it's a little bit more hierarchical. So, and is a little bit more also distant in that sense. So the therapist is not there to, let's say, support, is there to support, of course, but is much more there to listen and to provide a reflection for you. So he's not going to do that reflection, he's going to promote your own reflection. So this difference of the dynamic is so important, because this, for instance, I can tell you that can impact even the location that you have, can impact the way you sit, can impact the way you interact and the support that you get in different forms. So I'm just looking, and Emily is asking, as a certified coach, I often use my coaching tools in mentoring sessions. Yeah, I'm not saying that you cannot use mentor tools in a coaching session, but you need to know what you're doing, first of all, and when that is happening, and you need to tell it to the coachee. For instance, today in a session just this morning, I had a moment that I said, hey, I think, tell me please if this is not the case, but I will share my vision on this, and you will tell me if this in any way makes sense for you. So I'm stopping, almost like saying, okay, I stop here the coaching session and I'm starting a mentoring session. But it's important that you know what are you doing, and it's important that the coachee also knows that you are doing a different thing. I see here that you're saying it turns more into a coach mentor experience for the mentee. So be careful with that. So because the relationship or the experience needs to be aligned. So let me put it this way: if the mentee is expecting a mentor, I will say it's not ethical that you enter in a coaching session, because the person didn't ask for that. So the person didn't ask for any change, or the person didn't ask for basically that. The person only asked for a story. The person is asking for your own experience. So be aware that you need to be aligned on the purpose. What is this conversation all about? What is this session all about? And in any moment that you feel like, okay, I'm shifting, you need to let the other person know. Otherwise, the session is not ethical in that sense, because the person is expecting one thing and you are doing another. And of course, in this case, you are the one that knows. So you are the one that has the responsibility of maintaining the relationship in what is the intention of that session. I don't know if I reply to the question. I hope so. But for me, it's very important that if you change something, whatever that is, that you let the other person know what is going on, because the other person needs to have the right of saying, but I don't want that, or I'm not looking for that. That's not what I'm here for. That is what makes an ethical relationship as well. And as maybe some of you already know me, ethical for me, and it's very important. Emily is saying great, super. So pay attention that, and as I said, is nothing wrong on combining methodologies, but you need to be explicit about why you are doing it, and asking for the agreement of the other person. If the other person agrees, that the relationship gets a kind of a shift. Because I don't know if this happens to you, but for instance, my kids, I have three, and they know when I start, with my coaching hat, and they're like, "Mom, stop! I'm not one of your clients." And they like go away with that. I don't want you to be my coach right now. Maybe I want you to be my mom. Maybe I just want to be your daughter, in the sense that, yeah, I just want to do this as a normal daughter and a normal mom does it. And I don't want you to put your coaching hat. So this is exactly, let me put it this way. Some clients maybe will not say that to you because they don't have the confidence that your kids have with you, you know what I mean? So your kids will say it out loud and will say, stop that. But maybe sometimes a friend will say that, oh my God, are you analyzing me right now? So stop that, because the person is saying, I don't want this. here now. Okay, so pay attention to that, and that is something now that yeah. So I say this a lot to my students. Don't play. Be the coach. Think as a coach, but don't do coaching all the time. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, of course, it's very difficult for us if you are a coach or mentor or a therapist to say, oh, okay, now I'm not seeing it, or I'm not, seeing what I'm seeing. But you don't need to always use that. So you can see it still, of course, you will see a lot more. And you sometimes like, oh my God, I'm seeing even sometimes the dynamics, and I see even, oh, this will be so easy to solve. But yeah, you don't need to be doing it all the time. And this sometimes for people in our field gets a little bit tricky, because I think we want to go around and solve everything to everyone. Is not the way to go. Okay, so don't do it. Just don't do it. One of the things that I think is important, and I want to bring again, is this idea of we don't need to be everything to everyone. So if in any moment, for instance, you are yourself in a process, or you have a coach or a mentor, and you see, oh, now I feel like I need something a little bit different, just go for it, because each one of this space, mentoring, the coaching, and the therapy, they have also different tools, so they can bring to you different awareness points, different results as well, of course, and they can open more doors for you. I always say that open the maximum doors that you can. Doesn't mean that you need to enter all the doors that you open, but you know that first the doors are there. If you want to enter, you can. But amplify your vision, your perspective, by putting more doors in front of you, or so that in any moment you can just decide to enter that door in particular. And I think this sometimes is one of the I say the challenges, is that we get a little bit too much fascinated by one door, and we want to explore the door until the end. And I was like, why? Why? Sometimes we just need the door there, and we just need to open a little bit, enter a little bit, and then, okay, let's see if I can open another door and what is there. I sometimes see people doing, ruminating a lot on the same subject, on the same door, on the same perspective. And I like, the biggest thing that you can offer yourself is choice. So the more doors you have, more choices you are creating for yourself. So it's nothing wrong on you doing mentoring, coaching, and therapy. I can tell you that, for instance, I have a lot of people, therapists, coming to do the coaching certification. Why? Because it's another tool. It's another toolbox, But I also see a lot of coaches doing mentoring, and mentoring doing therapy. So it's okay. It's okay. But know that they are different things, and they will bring you first different purposes. First, they are, they say, operating in different time frames. They have a different focus. They are paying attention to different things, and you are having a different type of relationship when you are doing each one of them. For this first episode live, and I also want to say that my, let's say, objective is also to bring different perspectives. So I'm looking and inviting people to be doing yeah, this lives with me. So if in any moment you feel like, oh, I want to share my perspective and I want to get in a conversation with Ligia, reach out to me and I will be, yeah, happy to have a conversation with you. And if that conversation can serve more people, that will be amazing, right? So I'm totally open. I'm looking for people to do this live with me. You know how this works. So it's on Tuesdays at 12. So that you already know. And yeah, share with me your intention. What is your intention on coming live with me? And what is the topic that you want to explore? And we arrange that. Another thing is that I really like to reply to questions. It's one of my things. So if you have a question, I normally say to my students, a burning question, send that question to me, and I will reply to it with a lot of pleasure. So for today, we leave it like this. I hope this 35 minutes served you. And if you have any other questions, and if you want to explore a little bit more the topic, reach out and I will be willing to really reply to you because it's really something that I like. So have a great afternoon and we see each other, next Tuesday at 12. Stay well.